name is Anastasia. This is my co-host, Jillian.
Hello, everyone.
And we're so happy to see you all here tonight.
There are two high school girl clubs at the Crestwell Center, and they have activities that help girls who are going through high school experience learn how to be leaders.
That's a wrong perception.
When I say the word beauty, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Flowers. It's beautiful.
And that concludes my video presentation. Many different answers were given. Some were well thought out, some were superficial, and maybe a little bit immature. It's a simple question, but what exactly is beauty? And that's probably why you're all here. So here's a question for you to think about. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the word beauty? Thank you.
So, do you all know what a stained glass window is? Well, we can relate beauty to it. They sparkle when there is light and sunshine coming through, making their colors shine. We see red, green, yellow, every type, all sorts of colors. But when it is rainy and dark, we can't see anything. So, beauty is just like that. Henry David Thoreau said, "Goodness is the only investment that never fails." So with goodness, we have three effects of goodness. The first one is interior liberty. And what I mean by this is being able to act and be who you truly are. For example, not being afraid of telling people what you like to do, the movies you like to watch, the clothes you like to wear. That is a really important effect of goodness. The second one is harmony with ourselves, loving our personality, loving the way we look every day. And as you see, the cat is looking in the mirror and seeing a lion. It is also good to think of it like Dr. Seuss. Why fit in when you were born to stand out? The next time your friends try and put you down, you just have to stay firm and think, I'm beautiful, I will stand out and fit in. The third effect is being able to give up materialistic things. When we let go of these things, we will truly know that we're using goodness correctly. So to end my short presentation, I'd like to say that just like the third little pig, to become the hero, we have to use goodness as our tool to achieve beauty.
The most important fact about beauty is that it has two parts, inner and outer beauty. Inner beauty is the sum of a person's personality, their likes, their dislikes, the ways in which they treat others, their hopes, their dreams, and everything else that makes them who they are. Outer beauty is the sum of a person's physical characteristics, their smile, their mannerisms, their facial expressions, and their physical properties. One thing that deserves our attention is the question, what is the purpose of inner and outer beauty? And how do they relate? The purpose of outer beauty is to attract people to our inner beauty. Outer beauty is like the packaging of a product. Its sole purpose is to attract people to what the product offers. Like the wrapping of a chocolate bar. The thing that makes us want to buy the chocolate bar is the wrapping. It attracts us to what the chocolate is. We wouldn't buy a chocolate if it was wrapped in dirty, greasy paper. But, on the other hand, we don't just buy a chocolate because of its wrapping, because we love the wrapping so much. You buy it because of what the wrapping is offering you. Thus, though beauty has a purpose, it is not an end in itself. Most people think that beauty is all that matters, but really, all it is the promise of beauty. Outer beauty does have importance. It is the tool by which we can attract people to our inner beauty. We must take care of and love our outer beauty. We must display it as something good and not display ourselves as unattractive. But most of all, we must be confident in our own skin. The problem with the world today is that it's put too much emphasis on outer perfection when it is both impossible and unnecessary. Being confident makes people 100 times more attractive. I found this quote which really sums up inner beauty and makes you look at it in a whole new way. That's the thing about inner beauty. Unlike physical beauty, which grabs the spotlight for itself, inner beauty shines on everyone, catching them, holding them in its embrace, making them more beautiful too. So here's my final advice to you. Become the best version of yourself by taking care of and loving not only your outer, but most importantly, your inner beauty. Find your passion, love your personality. In 2 words, be you. Thank you.
My name is Elena, and I'll talk about beauty and confidence. First, I would like to ask you some questions. Where do you think confidence comes from? We are always hearing people talking about confidence, but is it good to be self-confident? Good for you or for the others? Well, confidence blooms from a deep comprehension of oneself. It does not depend on physical appearance, but rather on an understanding of who you are as an individual and our place in different parts of society. Knowing our strengths and weaknesses, we can identify our roles in our family, with our friends, in our school, in our community, in our country. However, to know ourselves, we do not just wake up one day and say, today I will go find out what I'm good at. No, it's not like that. We simply observe and we'll naturally know more about ourselves. For example, writing is something that's very easy for me. But I was not born knowing that I would love to write, or I found it in one single day. On the other hand, I'm terrible in sports. Terrible. And that's okay, because everyone has things they're not good at, and we all can always improve. Knowing this about myself, I can understand better who I am and feel more confident. Confidence has an immense power to captivate. In a foreign, selfish way, confidence could be used to attract attention and admiration simply for the sake of vanity. Confidence can have a rich meaning and impact. It can be used to influence others positively. Confident people are not competing with anyone. On the contrary, they try to bring the best in others. A great teacher does not try to show her students that she knows more, but makes them want to learn and to be always better. A confident person has the same capacity to influence other people. Self-confidence is something good for us and for the others. For us, because it's a valued characteristic that brings many opportunities, since it enables us to be ourselves both alone and in public. For the others, because when well explored, self-confidence can improve society. Confidence comes from love in ourselves, which is the first step to love others and make the world a better place. Thank you.
Our final presenter from the Girls Club comes from a far, far away land, Pitt Meadows. Her beauty icon is Julie Andrews because she represents uniqueness of beauty. Her favorite dessert is mixed berry pie. I now welcome Adam.
Okay, so my first point is that being unique is being beautiful. So I'll be speaking a lot about the words beauty and the word unique today. So we're going to bring out Scott Forsman, my favorite dictionary, because he's amazing and he's always right. So Scott Forsman tells us that the definition for beauty is very pleasing to see or hear, delighting the mind or senses. He also tells us that the definition for unique is having no like or equal, being the only one of its kind. So if we were to, put these two definitions together, a very interesting sentence would come out. Having no like or equal, being the only one of your kind, makes you very pleasing to see or hear, and you delight people's minds and senses. Now, I'm not saying you should be completely different from everybody else, because if you were, you wouldn't be representing your beauty. Instead, you'd be alienating yourself in society, and that's not what I'm trying to get at. So, how to be unique. So, Tigger tells us, bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. The most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Tigger represents uniqueness of beauty, because he understands by being himself and only himself, he's an amazing and beautiful Tigger, because he's the only one. Now, I'm sorry, but I have to break the news to you guys. Each one of us, like this word panda, is an endangered species. Unfortunately, there's only ever going to be one of me and one of you. Although we're all trees, each one of us is a unique tree in this forest of 7 billion people. So I'm going to end with a wonderful, beautiful role model in today's society. Today we see many celebrities celebrities that try to get people's attention and by doing crazy things to be unique. Like, I'm so sorry, I definitely had a wrecking ball in my throat. I'm definitely not going to be speaking about her. I'll be speaking about Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews had a 4-octave voice, and that, although that did make her popular, it didn't make her beautiful, unlike the myth that many people believe. What made her beautiful was how she remained herself and didn't let anybody change that, not even the paparazzi. Julie Andrews, like Tigger, understands that by being yourself and only yourself, you're an amazing and beautiful person because you're the only you there is. If you're going to get anything out of this conference from me, I suggest that you never let yourself forget Tigger's voice in your mind, because that might be one of the worst things you ever do. Thank you.
Jesus spoke about the importance of smiling. So what I want you to do is to turn to the person next to you and frown. How does that make you feel? But you don't laugh. You're supposed to frown at the person and give them a big smile that truly affirms them. That shows them the question.
Talking to you about fashion today. You might be wondering, why fashion? Here we are talking about beauty. And a lot of what we've been speaking about, what the speakers who've spoken so far have mentioned, is both inner and outer beauty. And a lot of what we've been talking about when we talk about outer beauty has been, in a sense, our physique, our hair, our skin, I don't know, our height, whatever it might be. But fashion is something a little bit different. It's something that is actually outside of our bodies. The clothes we wear, the shoes we wear. It's articles that are not part of us, but when we put them on, they sort of become part of us. So that's something that, in a sense, becomes part of this packaging, this exterior that people perceive when they see us. Throughout history, fashion is something that you can use very much to your own advantage and for your own purposes to represent whoever it is that you feel you are best being. And so fashion, in a sense, is a tool, like so many other tools we have at our disposal to communicate who we are. It's not something we have to just passively receive. Okay? That's all I've got to say. I'll let you go. As I said, I'll bore you more when you're a little bit older, and I see you in my classrooms, and I hope that that is the case. Thank you all.
Well, hello. We're going to speak about expressing beauty, basically. And I'm going to need you in my talk, because we're going to do philosophy.
As you're going to see, there are not going to be any slides there, because our slides are going to be in here. So we're going to think, and in order to see if we are thinking together, I'm going to need what happened. I'm going to tell you a story that happened like 5 years ago.
I used to live in Italy. As you know, there are many mountains in Italy, and they're beautiful. So I was with my sister, we were climbing a mountain, and she said, bring with you your favorite book. And we are going to, at the top of the mountain, we're going to sit there and just read and enjoy.
So I did that. We get to the top of the mountain, and we both take out our books. My book was a book on poetry. And when I saw her book, was a notebook full of numbers. She's a mathematician. Full of numbers. Are you going to read that book? She said, yes. So I was silent, she was silent, we said, okay, let's start reading. So I started reading, and all of a sudden I heard,
this is so beautiful. I was like, what are you reading there? So she said, don't you see? Like the transition between this line and this line is just beautiful, clean, perfect. So I tried to enjoy the beauty that she was enjoying.
And I tried to read into her numbers, but I couldn't understand anything. I didn't see any beauty there, because I didn't have the knowledge to understand that beauty. And this is what happens sometimes when we cannot go beyond this physical beauty.
I saw with my eyes, I said, these are numbers, but I couldn't get what was beyond these numbers. So, for the first question,
is everybody beautiful? Really beautiful? And the second question happened as I came to mind when I was listening to one of the presentations on going beyond senses, because beauty is something that we get through the senses. Like you see something beautiful with your eyes. And we said we have to go beyond our senses.
The first one, we are saying everybody's beautiful. I don't know you, but some people that are not beautiful. Like I see them and I don't say, wow, what a beautiful girl, or what a beautiful person. For example, when I had a friend from Cameroon, and for her, having a space between the front teeth is a sign of beauty. So I remember meeting her and saying, hey, would you like me to recommend you a place to go so that they can fix that? She said, what? No, please, this is a sign of beauty for me. And I was like, really? Because she was very proud of it. So clearly we have different parameters of beauty. If I say everything is beautiful, this could mean the same as saying everything is ugly. Because if there are not any parameters, for the same reasons that I'm saying this is beautiful, someone else can be saying this is ugly. Imagine that I can have all the reality in front of me, and one of you is here with me, judging if this is beautiful or not. And I say, this is nice, and she said no. Second item, I like that one, it's beautiful, and she said no. We can be, at the end, we can be looking at the same reality. For me, everything was beautiful. For her, nothing was beautiful. If this is the case, we are lost. It doesn't make sense that we are here. It doesn't make any sense that we do philosophy. It doesn't make sense that it exists, and it does, a science in philosophy that is called philosophy of beauty. So there must be something that is truly beautiful in everybody. And here is the key. Prepare your philosophical brains. Beauty is proportional. This is a funny word, but what it means is that everything is beautiful in their own way. And when we say everything is beautiful in their own way, it means that beauty, and this is the answer, is to be in harmony with ourselves. My dog is beautiful as long as it's a dog. That's simple as that. We're not talking about beautiful faces. We're talking about what things are. And this is very abstract. But this is what we study in philosophy. So if a dog is a dog, that dog is beautiful. If a tree is a tree, that tree is beautiful. If a human being is a human being, that human being is beautiful. So if something exists, it's beautiful. Just by existing. It means the beauty of existence. Can you imagine what kind of things cannot not be beautiful? That means they are always in harmony with themselves. A dog can only be a dog. He cannot wake one morning and say, I would like to be an elephant. He's a dog forever. So just by being a dog, he's being beautiful. He cannot break this harmony with himself. A tree, everything in nature. So everything in nature is beautiful just by the fact of being. This is really beautiful because these things are in harmony with themselves. Now the patterns. Human beings can be beautiful, but they can also not be beautiful because we can break this inner harmony with ourselves. And here is where I need your answers. I need to know how human beings can break this inner harmony.
People can break the harmony with themselves by trying to be somebody else's mirror, trying to be what they aren't. So a lot of times we'll see role models and celebrities in our society and we'll try to be exactly like them when that isn't being ourselves, that's somebody else. And it doesn't make you worse or better, it just makes you yourself, which is being beautiful.
Perfect. Now put this together with what we said before about dogs being always beautiful. Have any of you seen ever a dog pretending to be something else but a dog? They can't. He cannot wake up one morning and say, I'm an elephant today. He can't do that, but we could do that. So in a way, it depends on us to decide if we want to be beautiful. The beauty of existing, we have it. Like the basic beauty of existence, as we said before, we have it. But this is not enough in human beings because we have a huge power. That is the power of breaking or making this harmony stronger. Does someone else have an idea of how can we break this harmony?
Oh, this is super interesting. She said, what about if someone loses parts of himself? Are you meaning like an arm or something? Or a mental quality? Okay. Oh, this is super interesting. Okay. She's asking what happens with the beauty, this deeper beauty that we're talking about, if someone loses an arm or a mental quality or something that seems essential to that person. How would you answer that question? Someone that cannot talk after an accident. Is that person as beautiful as he was before the accident? Yes, why? Okay. Okay, so this is the essence in here. This person is keeping his nature. How do you recognize a human being? Because this is the only way to know what is his nature. Because we can say, but talking was essential to him. Talking is part of his nature. So how do you recognize a human being? Stop here. Gosh, that sounds much better. Okay, how is this manifested? There are two things that are proper to the nature of human beings. And it's something that you do every day, the whole day, you're doing this. To think and to love. This is what you do. That is proper to you. So that person that loses an arm or the capacity to talk is a human being because this person still can think and love. Even though sometimes these capacities cannot be expressed in the exterior. But sometimes just by a glance, a person that is totally paralyzed, the person can express her inner fundamental beauty just by the glance, just by the way in which she makes contact with others, but just by being there. This is a mystery sometimes, but we know in metaphysics, and this is what we are talking here about, that if there is a fundamental beauty, that it is existence, everything that exists is beautiful. So first question is answered, and it is proportionality. So beauty is not the same always. We cannot speak about beauty the same way for everybody, but everybody can be beautiful. In the case of human beings, being beautiful depends on us in a way, not fully, because none of you can decide either to be something else but human beings. Sometimes we would like to be, I don't know, Superman. We can't desire that, but we can't actually be it, because we don't have that power. So we are faithful to ourselves, in harmony with ourselves, when we are what we're supposed to be, human beings. And as we said, human beings think and love, so we are beautiful. Imagine how simple it is to be beautiful. If you think and love. And this is very helpful for these days in the morning, and you look yourself at the mirror and you say, I thought that I was ugly, and I really are. So in these days in which we feel like no one loves me because I'm ugly, we have to think a little bit deeper. Keep in mind the example of the math problem. I couldn't understand because I didn't have the knowledge to go further. Now you have it. You have the knowledge to go further because you know that what is proper to you, that what makes you beautiful, is your capacities to think and to love. So your capacities of being a human being. So when you feel horrible in front of the mirror, you need to ask the mirror, show me my love, show me my capacity to think, reason, and you're going to get to that inner beauty that you have and everybody else has. Well, thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Ever